All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 15 of the Dunk Dynasty Podcast. Back in action. You know you missed us. We are back in action, as I said. The boys, here we are. Jed Mitchell is here. Trey Mitchell is here. Ethan McDonald is here. Myself, Panache Nyashanu, am here. Here to discuss everything that's happening in the NBA this week, a couple of weeks since we missed out on getting to you guys last week as well. So we got a little bit, touching to do on those subjects from last week as well. But yeah, we are here. What's up, fellas? How's things?
As you said it, we're back in action.
I think I said it like 3 times.
I know that's why I had to. That's why I had to.
I think I had to say it for every single week that we were gone. Yeah, back in action, and back in
Feels good.
action.
I'll go on a limb here and say it's good to be back in action.
Yeah.
Same shit, different day, but over the last week, there's been a bit go on in the NBA, which is pretty exciting. Some records that are getting broken and stuff like that, and some good games.
Yeah, just great to be back with you boys and looking into all of your eyes and just having fun. It's just going to be a lovely little hour of just talking. And I'm just
looking into all your eyes. What the fuck is that, kumbaya? Fellas, lots of action been going on. Obviously, post All-Star break, it feels like that's, All-Star was a fair bit ago. Now we're starting to gear up slowly but surely to playoffs. I think only 4 or 5 weeks left in the regular season. Things are starting to heat up. Standings are changing. Feels like every single day. One team's up, one team's down. Streaks are becoming a big thing, whether they're winning or losing. So obviously, there's some teams there that we obviously want to pay attention to, which is the cream of the crop, top of the shelf, really. You got the Nuggets, Celtics, Clippers, Bucks, Wolves, OKC. Those teams that are up there in terms of they're starting to distance themselves from other ones. So looking at those contenders as we go into this last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, going into the playoffs even as well, what are your concerns for each of these teams? What do you think they need to address before they get to the playoffs? And then also, if they don't address it, what do you think will be like a major issue they have to deal with come playoff time?
Oh, yeah, okay, I'll go first because I have to. Well, after today and the way that the Clippers performed against the Timberwolves, blowing a 20-point lead to lose by 20, I've decided the Clippers have to start tanking for next year, whether that's trading for picks or something, I don't know. Because holy, they go do all this shit to get Harden in the team. Wicked. Harden's had a fairly decent year, but he hasn't been anything, like James Harden. Paul George is, for some reason, fallen off the wagon. Kawhi Leonard's doing Kawhi Leonard things, but once he's out of the team, who's there to replace him? No one. Who's filling the gap? No one. No one's playing for each other. PJ Tucker's complaining. Paul George more interested in his podcast. Terrence Mann, I had enough.
The Clippers. There's nothing.
Jim, I haven't finished. You better be quiet about your Oklahoma
City. I just want to jump in quickly. Enough.
The Clippers need to fucking sort this shit out. As I'm coming now, Los Angeles, I'm gonna do my thing over there and beat some people up. I'm just being honest.
It makes me laugh though because you make it out like PJ Tucker's never complained before.
PJ Tucker wanted off that team.
Complaining on my Clippers, man. I don't need him complaining on my Clippers. Go complain somewhere else. Get that big fat 38-year-old out of here.
I'd also like to ask Adam Silver if he could push back the trade deadline to help his Clippers out so they can trade for some picks. Because at this point of the season, don't see that happening, bud.
Well, I don't really care how it happens, man. Just make it happen, all right? I've had enough.
Clippers since the All-Star break, 1-5 against teams with a winning record, 5-0 against teams with a losing record. Well, 1-6 after today because they lost to the Timberwolves. This team, bro, I don't even know what's happened. It feels like even before the All-Star break, they were starting to fall off slowly but surely. I'm like what's going on here? Things just look all over the place. They're starting to lose their way. Initially, I thought that it was because, well, this is what I still believe now. I think it's maybe because you didn't have Zubats in there. That's probably a theory of mine. That's because I feel like Zubats, that pick and roll that he is developing with Harden offensively, that was starting to become a lethal weapon for them. Playing off the pick and roll for the whole team was just becoming a lethal weapon. So maybe now that he's back, can get some consistency going, they can make a difference. Defensively also, he's got that big body, can shot block. He's always been a pretty good defender. Maybe that's the difference. But obviously now, today, which we'll speak about as we go, later on the episode, Kawhi goes down. That's now going to hamper them even more going forward. So the Clippers, it's such a terrible spot, bro. I really just struggling to see where everything went wrong, man.
I think the Zubac thing's interesting. He's been selling heaps. Like the other day, what game was it, Ethan, where they had to bench Zubac in the second half because he was just getting cooked. He got absolutely cooked against the Thunder when they played them as well.
I think it was the Rockets.
Yeah, just they had to bench him because I think he's probably one part of the team that probably needs to step up his game a lot more. And then also with the Clippers, I think because they're a lot older as well, they're going to go through stretches where they're high and where they're low. I think they're probably taking stock and still thinking, if they're healthy, they'll make a good run for it. But definitely, it's a worrying sign. But I don't think it's if you're like scaling at 1 to 5, the alarm bells. I don't think they're anywhere near a 5. I think you're at like a 2.5.
Well, Jed, to be fair with you, I have different standards for the Clippers, and they need to be playing on all cylinders every game of the season. I expect an 82-9 season coming up, and I do not want to see this type of bullshit where we're losing to the T-Wolves being up by 20. You understand?
Yeah, without.
I'd agree with you on the Clippers should tank.
Bro, they got that new arena coming.
They go into that big old arena, and it's, bro, on the basis of having all those stars come to that new arena, and the PG, still has not signed that extension, so...
I reckon
I wouldn't sign him either. He's playing like a bum. PG shoots the ball 15 times a game and makes it in 3 times.
PG may as well just look for I feel like he might end up leaving,
to be fair. He's playing so much ISO ball at the moment when he's playing. He just wants to dribble and then shoot. He's not playing as a team. He's not using pick and roll with Zubac. He's not playing off Harden. He's just playing by himself. It looks horrific out there. And then Harden's trying to roll with Zoo when Zoo's in or Plumlee. But everybody's picking that off now because everyone knows what Harden wants to do. And then Terrence Mann's not a good enough shooter to be there. Amir Coffey hasn't hit the bucket in a while. Norman Powell's the only other one, but everyone's defending harder on him on the 3-point line because they know he can shoot. And he can't dribble into the paint the way he, like some of these other players can. So it's like the Clippers are so predictable at the moment and they're not doing anything to fix that. And Paul George is just trying to be hero.
Well, all I'm hearing is
they need to get... Westbrook's missing, which... It's a bit of a struggle there on the coming off the bench because now you've got Amir Coffey. He's playing probably bigger minutes than he probably would have thought. He was playing some good minutes, obviously, but he wasn't playing as much when Russell Westbrook was there. So, Russell Westbrook losing him was a little bit tough. Probably dents them a little bit more than they thought. But even then, with Harden, I'd like to see him be more aggressive. I understand what he's trying to do, like in terms of being a facilitator, but maybe it's fine. It feels like just be more aggressive in that pick and roll. Be more aggressive. You don't always have to just be the passer. You're not just there to be the point guard. You can be the scorer, James Harden, as well. Find your way to fit yourself into their offense. Because PG, I'm sure, and Kawhi, I'm sure are all happy to look at you and say, yeah, you're a killer, man. You can go out there and get your points. Be aggressive in the pick and roll. You don't always have to look to be a facilitator in the pick and roll. Sometimes be James Harden of old. If you can be James Harden of old, please go out there and do it. Because you just being a facilitator can actually, what we're seeing for me at times when I watch them, you're holding the team back a little bit when you're being so pass first. Be James Harden.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I just don't think we should be as alarmed by them. Like we knew they were going to have weaknesses, but their peak was a lot higher than we actually ever anticipated. I think that's the thing, that this team's peak, even though they go for a rough patch, their peak is still ridiculous. And whether they have a slow stretch, as long as they peak at the right time, then, I don't know. Like, you just got to be realistic. Like, this team was so good. They were so hot for so long. And, like, they were bound to cool off. It's just whether they can get back to that.
If they can get it back before playoff time, I think it'll be better for the entire NBA. Because, like I said, we need someone to contend against this next team, the Denver Nuggets, who post All-Star break have just been on an absolute heater. I think they only lost the one game, which was to, I don't remember off the top of my head. It was someone that the Suns. I think it was the Suns that they lost to. Yeah. I think it was the Suns post All-Star break. That's the only team I think they've lost to so far. So look at the Nuggets. They are starting to catch fire quickly. I think Jokic especially has now put a stamp on the MVP race where I think he's clear-cut about to win MVP number 3, third in the last 4 years. The Nuggets, what's your thoughts on them? Any weaknesses that you see there? Any concerns that you've got for them, going to the last few weeks of the season and then playoffs?
My concern is trying too hard to get the number 1 seed and potentially getting someone injured. they can't really afford to lose anyone come playoff time, especially just to go for that number one seed. Like they've come out and said they want the number one seed. They're not going to the White House for their championship tour or whatever, because they got the T-Wolves the next day and they want to win their game. So
But
that's tough, though.
Joe Biden's got Alzheimer's anyway, so he's not going to remember the visit. So it's not like,
Yeah. Pretty sure Joe Biden doesn't even remember he's president number 46. Probably thinks he's like 64 or something else.
Nikola Jokic rocks up and he goes, "Where's my chicken nuggets?"
Yeah, Nikola Jokic probably wants to get just horse for it. Take him to the subway, like take him to the Kentucky Derby. He doesn't care about the White House visit, bro. But it's good to see them prioritizing it.
Anyway.
Bro, biggest freaking advantage, 5-2-8-0. I see it on the jerseys all the time. I see it on the court all the time, 5-2-8-0. That's all that matters. It's like bro, you're at that altitude. They've got the biggest advantage in the NBA by far come playoff time. So it definitely makes sense to prioritize number one seed. And they're scary. For me, I agree with trades. Definitely the injuries. If they prioritize it too much, you risk someone getting injured. But I still think it's definitely, I would say the bench. I'd say that, the bench is going to be an interesting one, how well they can do. Because if you come to a point in time, obviously foul trouble becomes a thing. You may get an injury come playoff time to, let's say KCP. You hope it's not to Jokic or Murray. If it's KCP or MPJ goes down, what is Peyton Watson going to be able to do? Christian Brown, what can he do? Reggie Jackson, what can he do? Going to be interesting to see how their bench can step up like they did last year.
Yeah,
Watson's been big though. He's stepped into Bruce Brown's role almost with how well he's been playing lately.
Yeah,
hopefully he can step it up playoff time. But
their window is now as well. I think out of all these teams in the top, maybe apart from the Clippers, their window's a lot longer. I think the contracts are really going to come into play as the years go on for the Nuggets. So I feel like this is one they've really got to capture to get Jokic's too, because I don't really, outside of this year, I reckon it'll be hard for them going forward. If they start to lose a lot more of those key guys and they can't really fill them with players like Peyton Watson and stuff stepping up.
They've done pretty well developing, though.
I think, as Pete, you said before about the injuries with Denver as well. I think losing MPJ would be quite crucial to their run as well, because he's actually picked it up defensively over the last few weeks as well. He's staying on people. He's marking some of the best players. He's actually solid. The shooting is still, his passing, we don't want to talk about that. But defensively, he's picked up his game, and he actually looks like he's quite a key integral piece to that team, one of the main defenders now. And I think losing him would put way too much pressure through Aaron Gordon and that to be able to cover. So I think,
yeah. So too.
But they just gel so good together. Their chemistry is there's no other team's chemistry that as good as theirs.
That starting five is so, I think, by far, I think I saw a stat, was it 16.7 or 13.7 that they outscore the opposition when they're on the court together. That starting five is just, they're just too good. That starting five just mixes and gels. They are also perfect for what Jokic needs. You've got a lob threat big man who sometimes can shoot the three pretty well. You got obviously the most, in my opinion, I still think it's the most unstoppable two-man game, Jokic and Murray. Then you've got KCP and MPJ who just can shoot the lights out any single day. MPJ is very underrated basketball in terms of his cutting game. The way he cuts the basket, gets himself open looks, just because he cuts. Listen, I'll shout out Ben Hall. Ben Hall, one of the best cutters, bro. Coaches will always say this about him. He can cut and get yourself easy points, which is what MPJ can do as well. Cut, get yourself easy points, and then he's also able to obviously extend out and do what he does best, which is shoot the three ball. He's insane.
Shout out Ben Hall, also getting 1 for 1 from 3 today or yesterday. Congrats, man.
100%.
Who, Ben Hall?
Bro, he went off, man. 3 points, 1 assist, 4 boards. Tell you.
Motherfucker, where's my money?
Sharks look scary.
That's all I care about, Ben Hall. Where's my fucking money, motherfucker? But anyway, looking at some other teams there that you've got. So another team that the Nuggets played, which was the Celtics. The Celtics. I think, depending who you are, if you're not from Boston, I think everyone else probably has a lot of different concerns they have about the Celtics, which for me, I look at it, Jason Tatum, big games. What are we doing? please show up for the life of please. I don't understand how this guy. You want to be the face of the NBA. There come certain standards. I saw that thing where it was it Joe Mazzulla said it, where he said Jason Tatum got 25, 5, and 6, and everyone said that he had a bad game. Tyrese Maxey had 25, 5, and 6, and everyone said, oh, he's playing amazing, all this stuff. There's levels to the game. If you're going to call yourself the best player in the world, you're going to be held to the level and the standard of being the best player in the world. Come a big game like you play the Nuggets on prime time. Bro, you can't play like that. You have to step up. Jaylen Brown, highest paid player in the NBA, showed up. The other player who's supposed to be the best player on the team, where were you? Didn't show up. That's my concern. It's Jason Tatum. Can he be the guy, the marquee main star, to help push them over the line as the number one guy?
Have we ever seen? I was gonna say, have we ever seen a team this good that's had like when they lose it's so bad, or when they lose there's just so many weaknesses to this team? I don't know. It's just crazy.
I think that Porzingis, like, if they lose Porzingis in the playoffs, they're in big trouble, I reckon.
Yeah.
He's unreal. Like, you know, he went at Jokic. Like, Jokic bloody outdone him, but, you know, Jokic was giving KP was giving Jokic problems. Like, yeah, I don't know.
It was a fascinating battle.
Probably,
yeah. Is there another team in the NBA that everyone wants to lose more as well? I'd
say the Lakers probably, because everyone wants everyone to shut up about the Lakers.
Only yours.
I want the Celtics to lose.
I want the Celtics to lose.
You want them or you don't want them? Do you say?
I want the Celtics to lose. I want the Bucks to come out of the East.
No, the team that I want to lose the most out of the entire NBA is the Phoenix Suns.
Really? I kind of want to see them do well.
I've been a Suns hater since the day CP3 was traded there, and I wanted the Celtics lose more than them.
Yeah.
I probably can't say what I really think about Chris Paul on here because I'll probably get cancelled. Some of the comments I've said in the group chat, if I post them,
it's fine.
I post some of those comments that I've said about Chris Paul, I'll probably get cancelled immediately. But what I'll probably do agree with, Ethan, I probably do. I want to see Kevin Durant win, but I just don't want to see Devin Booker win. That's the problem. So I have to hate the Suns.
Bradley Beal. I don't want to see Bradley Beal win either.
You don't want to
Bradley Beal?
I want to see
not after this year. Not after this year.
Another guy I don't want to see win, Devin Booker. My God.
Yeah.
That's what P just said. That's crazy.
Yeah, but Tatum and
Grayson Allen. I don't want to see Grayson Allen win either.
What? Grayson Allen's a nice guy. Come on now.
Yeah.
After that foul he did a couple of years ago, I don't want to ever see Grayson Allen win.
He fouled someone a couple of years ago, so you don't want to see him win. Crazy.
I don't want that 19-year-old from the Boston Celtics to ever win, you know.
What do you mean?
He's got so many years left in his career, you know.
Man, that's a crazy one for what's his name? Oh, so if it's the Celtics or getting all that hate, I think it's directed at Tatum purely because I feel he's had how many All-Stars play on the same team as him. They've made how many conference finals? They've made one NBA finals during this entire time. And it feels every single year, they always say, oh, who do you think is going to be the guy who's going to take the next step? Blah, blah, blah. It's always Tatum. And every single year, regular season, he's done amazing. He averaged 30 points per game, I think, last season in the regular season. Then playoff time, it's like in the conference finals. Yeah, he had a couple of good games in there, but it's just the peaks and the troughs are so just the gap between the peaks and the troughs is just way too much, and he's just too inconsistent a little bit for me come playoff time. And I think that's your biggest concern if you're the Celtics. Yeah. But also for the Celtics, please stop fucking shooting so many threes, bro. Sometimes, can we just go inside, get ourselves some easy buckets? Yeah. Jason Tatum, you're 6'10". Jaylen Brown, you're 6'8", 6'7", 6'8", athletic as hell. I know you can't go left, but you can go right. Please, go to the basket. Please. Can we not shoot so many threes sometimes? I beg, man.
Jaylen Brown actually can go left. He proved it in the dunk competition. So
no, he proved it.
He needs a glove on.
Yeah,
he needs a glove on, mate. Come on.
Yeah, he just needs to get the ball hog gloves out and practice his dribbling, and he'll be sweet.
Ball hog gloves, I love those ones. I used to love those ones on the YouTube videos.
His training program, his training program for the dunk contest was Boingvert.
Hey, shout out Boingvert, eh? So that's the Celtics, and then Wolves. Oh, no, well, sorry. The Bucks. The Bucks. Concerns about the Bucks. What's your thoughts there?
Did anyone expect them to be this good and have this many big wins at this point from where we were a wee while ago? I think.
My biggest concern is Doc Rivers being up 3-1 in the playoffs.
There we go.
That's my biggest concern, but they've been playing unreal lately. You know, the way they've been playing lately, if I was the Celtics, I'd hate to see them in the second round or whatever. Could be scary.
I think
I think seeing the Bucks in the playoffs will be scary for anybody. I'm not worried about 3-1 with Doc Rivers anymore for this year because every other time he's done it, he's had a whole bunch of, he's had Joel, he's had Griffin, Paul, all those guys with it. But Joel don't have the makeup like Giannis. Gee, Giannis has got that mentality, man, and he's gonna win. There's no way he's gonna lose. He's got Lillard in there, he's gonna get the buckies. And Bobby Portis.
That's crazy. They lost in the first round last year.
Yeah, but now they got the Glenn. Mr. Glenn is going to carry them as well. It's either 3-1 and Giannis going to carry them over the line. I'm telling you, Bucks are scary. They're going to be scary.
It's crazy. You said you're not worried about the 3-1, but probably every single other team that Doc Rivers coached after the first time they choked a 3-1 lead probably said the same thing.
Yeah.
And look where they ended up. My only concern with them is like peaking at the right time. I think that's what it's going to come down to. It's like they don't want to peak now. They want to peak. Like they don't want to come off their peak and be a bit of a slump going into the first round. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see a deep Bucks playoff run, which I think is what everyone's excited for every year. Whether we get it or not, it's always a mystery. But fingers crossed. I'd love to see Bucks.
Bucks Celtics conference finals probably. I think you probably almost lock it in.
The
Lots to
Cavs
Brian
love
Cleveland.
Yeah, tiny temper written in the stars, man. It's written in the stars.
The bipolar Knicks, ever since Jalen Brunson went vegan, what happened? They've been dreadful.
There's been of the last 10 Knicks games, there's been 5 from either side, their team or the other team, that scored points in the 70s. It's happened 5 times. That's crazy.
It's just
79, 73.
4 teams under 80.
That's what happens
But
when
they
you've got
haven't
Tom
been able to score
Thibodeau
either,
coaching
so-
basketball, bro. You just get horrible games. Fire tips.
Hey, well, that's what you guys wanted the other week.
I didn't say go down to the
I'm here
70s,
for
man.
it. I'm here for it, man. I like it. Give me some more games like that. That's fun. I like seeing a competitive game like that. I don't want to see 130 to 130. It's shit. Seeing a
Competitive.
75 to 80 is just more enjoyable to watch.
Competitive game. You mean you don't watch
No way.
horrible plays?
It is competitive. Okay, they're not getting buckets, but it's still competitive.
It was competitive because it
75
was
to
terrible
80
players
is
on the court.
It's good in a playoff game when it's intense, but a regular season, 80 points is too low, I think.
The way that they
100
play,
right.
it's competitive every game, man. Every game.
Yeah, but you look at
Wait
it.
till Julius Randle's back. It'll be even more competitive. Be 65.
Bring this come playoff time.
There you go. There you go. You started to adopt it, my boy. There you go. Yeah. Let me see it come
Let's just be
playoff
real.
time.
Yeah,
All that
that
matters.
didn't feel good, did it, Trey? That didn't feel good. Admit that. It didn't feel good.
Trey's loving it.
It
Trey's
felt
loving it.
great.
Bucks. Oh, what was that? Sorry?
I was going to say, this playoffs is going to be unreal.
Yeah. But if I go back to the Bucks, I'm going to say weakness. Still feel like he's going to be hunted on defense with Damian Lillard. I just don't trust that defense. Yeah, they've improved, but they're still a bit shoddy. Like you see today against the Sacramento Kings, horrible. The Lakers game, horrible. They're up and down. Obviously, they figured it out a little bit, but I still feel like there's weaknesses there that will be exploited come 7-game series. And I think 7-game series against Boston, for example, I think Boston can think Boston can beat them. But other than Boston, everyone else, I think they can get past. I think they can beat the Knicks, Cavs, Magic. The only one probably that you don't want to see. Actually, no, this season they're not as good. They can probably see the Miami Heat as well. Miami Heat is not as good as this season.
Jimmy Butler's averaging the same stats as he did last year pre-All-Star break.
Oh, Jimmy Butler, bro. I've just had enough of
All-Star break.
the glazing of Jimmy
And no
Butler
one's
has got to
talking about
stop, bro. I've never seen
But no
anyone
one's-
get glorified for fucking
No one's
just being a
talking
bum
about
after
him
the
at
first
all,
round,
and he's
other than
doing
Jimmy
the
Butler.
exact same thing. It just shows that the Heat aren't nearly as prominent, and they're not nearly going to be as good. But you also got to watch out, bro. Jimmy Buckets is Jimmy Buckets, man.
Jimmy Butler's a
ever
bum,
sleep
bro.
on that dude.
They did
Yeah.
lose to the Wizards.
He's also the
man.
one.
That was-
He's also the one and only Michael Jordan's son. We all know that they're related. We all know.
Didn't the Heat lose 3 in a row?
Yeah, they've lost 3 in a row, man, because they're overrated. That's bro. We'll see how the Heat do come playoff time, but I do not have faith in that team
Okay,
anymore.
didn't the Celtics lose 2 in a row the other day as well? Like, I mean, come on. Let's not get into that.
After winning, 14? So, there's levels to it.
So, struggle street, man. Yeah, I was gonna get into the Bucks and I was gonna get into the Wolves and OKC, but I feel like no, just don't feel like doing that because I feel like the young teams feel like everyone's gonna say the same thing. Don't care. Don't think either of them gonna win championship. Fuck off. So let's go. NBA, it's been a
Okay. Hold on. That's just like ridiculous. You got to give them their flowers and then tell them to fuck off. You can't just be like,
Hey, okay. I'll give them some dinner first. All right, I'll take them to dinner first. Congratulations to the Minnesota Timberwolves and Oklahoma City Thunder. Fantastic seasons. First round, Cancun on 3. Let's go. So, lately, last couple of weeks as well, NBA, it's been a little bit tough. A lot of teams have been facing injuries, especially, some stars are starting to go down as well, which is a bit worrying, getting to the last 4 or 5 weeks of the season like we were talking about before. Going to get difficult because playoff spots are up for grabs, play-in spots are up for grabs as well, and then home court advantage, all that kind of good stuff, So just read you out a list, including the guy who went down today, stars that are out at the moment. You've got Kawhi Leonard, Steph Curry, Karl Anthony Towns, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, Şengün, Markkanen, Scotty Barnes. Not stars, but Westbrook, Tyler Hero, Benedict Mathurin as well. Looking at those, I said stars and guys who are on the tier underneath the star. That's not Jalen Williams, but yeah.
Mitchell's out as well.
Yeah.
How much research did you do to your list? You fucking.
I said Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell was literally the 5th name that I said, man. How dare you? But look at those names. Who do you think is going to be? Yeah, which team, based off those injuries, do you think is in a tough spot right now going into this last couple of weeks of the season?
The main one.
Warriors. As the Warriors trying to, without Steph Curry, they're the worst team in the league, pretty much.
Have you seen the Wizards play? Don't ever. You seen the Wizards?
Honestly, the impact Steph Curry has on the Warriors is unbelievable.
The Warriors could play with a one-man team, and the Wizards would still be worse.
Because
we're talking about the Warriors, not the Wizards, okay?
That's a hot take because the Draymond Green without Steph Curry is pretty much Ethan McDonald. And then
wow.
To be clear with you, Jed, I've seen you play basketball, and it ain't good to watch. That don't look right.
Last time we hit a 1v1, I won. So yeah, shut your mouth. On the Warriors quickly though, they've got 3 games to finish the season against the Dallas Mavericks, and if they have Steph healthy for those games, they win those games. That theoretically could, elevate them up quite a wee bit because it'll drag the Mavericks down. So that'll be key. It has to be them or the Wolves. The Wolves surely are concerned with that kit.
Who else got some takes in there for us?
Well, we saw today the Clippers without Kawhi.
No one cares about the Clippers.
That actually, so the Clippers are in trouble. They need Kawhi needs to be back. I also think on that also the Warriors. I disagree with the Warriors too. The Warriors that it's the way it is. Also, the Wizards need to trade for.
Even the trade deadline's passed.
Anyway, the Cleveland Cavaliers are in big trouble without Donovan Mitchell on the court. And if he's out when's he expected to be back?
Well, he's supposed to be back I think maybe the last game that they played because it was shot into his knee. They said he was going to miss 3 games, but I think now it's been 5 or 6 maybe.
Interesting point on Donovan Mitchell quickly as well. He's now ineligible for end of season awards, and he was probably going to be
second or third, I think for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say second or third team. So that's one storyline that probably hasn't got as much airtime as it's needed. That's huge. He's probably the one star who's going to look at it at the end of the season and going to say he's robbed. And you might say, he might not think that, but remember when he lost the Rookie of the Year award? He cried about it for a whole 2 years. So
yeah, he had to wear a shirt that freaking told us the definition of a rookie. Like, chill out, bro.
Yeah,
but that's the same thing with Chet Holmgren. How is Chet Holmgren a bloody rookie?
It's because you
have been in the league for you.
Let's not do that. How close is Tyrese Maxey to being out of the what is it
What award's he going for?
Most improved.
Oh, yeah, that'd be the only one.
It's Kobe White. Kobe White's got that in the bag now.
Yeah, so I feel like Maxi's gonna be out, but Maxi also had a
Barnes is
concussion.
out.
He was one of the people also injured because he had a concussion a couple of games too. I was like, whoa, brother. I thought he was gonna be out for a bit of time. And the 76ers were already struggling without Embiid. If they had lost Maxi for some more time, it would have been freaking GG's. He's been tough situation for the 76ers, bro. About to drop into the play-in. Don't think we're going to see Joel again. I think there's no chance we see Joel again. No way. Considering where they are and who they're going to have to play, if they make it into the first round, nah, dog. Rest them up. Atlanta Hawks, for example. I look at Trae Young. With no Trae Young, how they've been doing. Everyone was praying and saying that, they're going to win a lot of games. How are you guys doing, man? How's all the Trae Young haters doing now? Very quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I admit to being a Trae Young hater, but it started off really good,
Yeah.
and it went downhill.
Sometimes in life, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Trae Young, you are a San Antonio Spur, baby. It's going to be good.
Well, they've missed the press penis too. He tore his ACL, so that's a big loss to them.
Is that Sadiq Bey?
Oh, yes, the deep bay.
What did you just say?
call him?
The depressed penis.
The depressed.
That is.
Sad dick.
He's gonna say.
That's crazy. That is so outrageous.
Oh
Holy.
my god, Sadiq Bey, the depressed penis. That is the best thing I've heard.
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Sadiq, eh? Oh, it's tough to see them go out like that, man. Oh, Lord.
I can't believe you've never heard that before.
Nah, I never
I
heard that one before. Holy.
We need to get him on the team with Wet Bananas.
Yeah.
Go for the best nickname with the worst.
Yeah.
Wet bananas and the depressed penis.
I mean, duo of the century right there.
Sounds like
Yeah.
a terrible comedy film. Anyway, what were we
Yeah,
saying?
Atlanta's struggling with injuries, bro. I feel like, just they may as well just kick rocks on this season. I feel they're probably going to they're going to be in the play-in, so they can't really shut people down. But they're getting to that point in time where everyone has missed so much time during the season. Now, obviously, Trae Young has missed time now. Come off season, bro. This team has sucked for a long time since they traded for DeJounte Murray. Before that, they'd made the conference finals. Like, come on, bro. You added one person. We know who the problem is. I've said this multiple times. It's time to kick rocks on someone. Someone has to go, whether it's DeJounte Murray or Trae Young. Someone's going to leave, break it up. It ain't working. So that injury has affected them already, but I think going forward, Scotty told them the story. With Trae Young, you're probably not as great as you thought with DeJounte Murray. Without Trae Young, you'll still suck.
What team do you reckon's had the worst luck with injuries this year? Do you reckon it's been the Hawks or Memphis? Because I reckon it's Memphis by a long shot.
Yeah, I think Memphis by a long time. You look at the games missed by, if you combine it all, by actual, the legit players who are their number, starting, bro, it's not even close.
I think they've had 27 players on their roster this season that have played.
Yeah.
That's absolutely outrageous.
Because if you had come into the season, who would you say would the starting five have been? Would have been Ja, Desmond Bain, Marcus Smart, Jaren Jackson, and probably
Adams.
Tillman, because Steven Adams was injured. So you would have said Tillman.
No. If you're going into the season with all
healthy,
okay.
We'll say if everyone's healthy, then Steven Adams. You combine the games that five has missed, bro. I'd say probably looking at what 150 all up. Maybe even 200.
By the time the season's over, well over 200.
They don't have Brandon Clark either. He's
Yeah.
out.
Tillman wouldn't even got minute.
Yeah, there's 164 missed games just in Steven Adams and Brandon Clark alone.
Bro, it's they've been hard done by so bad. Hopefully I think the only silver lining that you take from this is the fact that some of these guys like Gigi Jackson, Vince Williams have got the opportunity to develop, and that you can plug them in next season when you get all these guys back, and hopefully they've taken the step enough or got enough NBA experience to the point where you can come and plug them in as guys who come off the bench. They can have that confidence to know, we can do pretty good in the NBA, scene. We've got that confidence now. They can take off next season, which is why I still believe they're going to win 55 games next season.
Oh, it's going to be so tough, though, for them. So tough. They're literally decimated to the point where they look like a Syrian battlefield.
Wow.
Oh, well,
Wow.
like, I mean, like, they're just, they've got so far to go. It's not like it's the season where it's been like Jar's just been injured, like the year before where Jar would go out or get suspended and they'd hold steady because they had a real good defense. They're literally going to have to build their chemistry up from nothing. Like none of these, it's a year without any combinations at all. All the combinations have to not restart, but like you've got to get back into it. It's not like any one person's fitting in. You've got to fit in 8 players to build that chemistry back up. It is wild. They got a long way to go.
One of the things as well that I think earlier on in the season when Jar was out for that 25-game suspension is that whilst the Grizzlies were reasonably healthy, missing a couple of pieces, but when they were like pretty much how they were going to be without Adams and that, they didn't have anyone that was like Desmond Bain, but they didn't really have anyone that was actually taking control or actually going to be the lead guy until Jar was back. Like Jaren Jackson was having a couple of good games, Bain having a couple of good games.
Just Bain was solid.
Yeah, but they weren't like leading a team because they were still getting smoked. Yeah. And then Jar come back and they started winning, but then he's gone and then they went straight back down the drain again. Like they don't have anybody after Jar that can actually hold a team together while he's not there.
But they also had to build the combination with Marcus Smart. Like they had to get him in because like Trey Jones was like
the entire offseason.
Oh, not Trey Jones, Tyus Jones. Yep. Well, did they really?
Yeah.
Did they really? Everyone was. I don't know. I feel like everyone was injured. Everyone was coming back.
That's the reason for those. That's the reason for those 2 months, man, is to build that chemistry and those combinations. And if they hadn't been doing that, then who's the coach? Get him out of there.
So that's what I'm saying is because like they've got to do that next year to the umpth degree. They've got to do that to like the 10th degree. Whereas like they literally started. They got a long way to go. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like I wouldn't be as hopeful as you guys are.
I don't think the Grizzlies are going to go very good next year at all. But
stop it! Come on now, stop
they
it!
Got their big man. Their big man. Who is it? Brandon Clark. Okay, cool. But who's after that? No one.
What do you mean? You actually like free agency doesn't exist. You get players in free agency.
Oh, please! Who wants to go play in Memphis with Jay? He might shoot you while you're just sitting in your home. I don't want to go do that.
That is a wild call. Jar is going to be a little bit more sensible now.
Yeah, he's a good boy now.
Hey, you're betting on the fact that he's going to be more sensible while he's still in the same place, hanging around the same people.
Hey man, he's changed the circle, bro. You seen him when he came back. He was a nice guy, bro. Stand-up citizen.
Oh, he was 9 games in. He only played 9 games, and he's gone again.
So what, bro? He went to
Smart's also there. Marcus Smart's a knobhead.
Marcus Smart's a nice guy too, man.
He does not look like he's ever showered.
Yeah, but Jarwick did go to Cranbrook. That's a private school, so he's gonna be a good boy next season. I think he's gonna unlock the inner private school kid again, so he should be all right next season. I feel. But yeah, I want to see some players healthy next season. I want to see some players healthy come playoff time. So everyone who's injured right now, guys, get healthy. We want to see a good playoffs, and we want to see everyone as much as we can be healthy as possible. But in the meantime, while some of those stars have been out, some teams have had to have role players step up. Looking at some of these guys like Josh Hart, for example, he's been on a little bit of tear. OG was out, and he just came back today. Julius Randle's still out for them. Jalen Brunson missed, I think, 1 or 2 games in that little stretch, and he's just been going a little bit crazy. We've got Nas Reid and Nickeil Alexander-Walker for the Timberwolves who have gone wild as well. Other teams have had players mix and match, step up when needed. Looking at these role players who are playing well, which ones do you think are going to be key for their teams come playoff time and even closing out the regular season as well?
Corey Kispert.
Shut up, bro. Don't ever say Wizards player again in your life when I say playoff ever again. Do not ever say Wizards when I mention playoffs.
Kispert is him, mate. He's him.
Yeah, he's him we're talking about playoff teams. We're not talking about bums who are wallowing away in the dumps.
Now, see, I have a slightly different thought. I see it's, what's his name?
Amir Coffee?
Watson for the Nuggets, I think, is going to be the most crucial, rookie youngin to kind of get a shot because he's going to get the most minutes on that bench, and most of the starters are going to play 40 anyway. So while he's on, he's going to have to do a role. I think playoff time, there's not going to be that many role players getting enough minutes to make a difference. Like
there always is.
TJ McConnell for the Pacers, I think, is quite an important piece for them to actually perform. Otherwise, I don't really see too many others.
But those Wolves ones are going to be so interesting, though. Like the Wolves team, there's such a buzzy team the way they're made up, and like when players go down, other players have to like assume so much of the responsibilities and stuff. Like look at Ant at the moment; he's playing like how he'll play in the playoffs, shooting 30 shots in a game. Like with players like Reid and Alexander Walker stepping up so much. That's just it's just interesting to follow because those players are going to have to deliver if the Wolves want to achieve what they want to achieve in the playoffs. I reckon the Wolves will be the team to focus on with the role players because for them to win games, they're going to have to step up. Alexander Walker's going to have to hit threes like he did today. Reid is going to have to score. He's going to have to be that spark off the bench. So, yeah, the Wolves, I reckon, such an interesting team.
Even the Mavericks, though, like, you know, they've started Daniel Gafford now and they've been good since he started. You know, Hardaway and stuff on the bench, they need to bring their A game, really. They relied on big time to win their games. You know, Luka's going to do Luka. But, yeah, all the role players need to step up too.
Have you seen that Gafford's hit 28 shots in a row?
Yeah.
That's
insane. 7 away from breaking Walt's record. No, 7 away from tying Walt's record, 35 straight. So he's getting close.
That's an unofficial record too, because he's actually got the actual record at the moment.
So I like to see that, but for the role player, role players. I like obviously Timberwolves, definitely up there. Nuggets are still for me a little bit of a thing. I want to see. So I think they'll probably be steadied by Reggie Jackson coming off the bench, but Oklahoma City Thunder. That's who I'm worried about because all of them, unproven, nothing under the bright lights. That's the only team really I look at. I'm like, who have I seen there that can be, you know, shine bright like a diamond when it matters most?
There is two massive like key role players there that can be huge. Isaiah Joe, he's just absolutely.
He's going to get minutes, 100%, because old mate's going to be played off the court.
Yeah. Isaiah Joe, and then the other Jalen Williams, the center, who can hit outside shots. He can draw charges. He's like one of those players like your.
What else can he do?
He's just but he's the definition of a role player. Like you plug him in, and if he gets you a charge, hits 2 shots in a row, and blocks a shot, that's like an unreal game for them, and he might change the momentum of the game. But he's someone who you might want to pay attention to. But then I thought we were going to talk about it earlier, but I have like so many asterisks by Thunder players like Josh Giddey. He's going to have to step up, but I just don't see it happening. Gordon Hayward really needs to play better than he's played. Bismack Biyombo needs to stay standing because I think he collapsed the other day. Like that's I feel bad for the guy. Like
that's
hopefully,
a violation. Firstly, I don't think Gordon Hayward's there to play minutes. Gordon Hayward's there to be a leader and a veteran for those young players in the playoffs.
He is 100%. He's an insurance policy on Josh Giddey, and he's not played like it so far. He played all good today, and starting in place of Jalen Williams, but he was always brought in as an insurance policy on Giddey. And then the other player I was going to talk about was Mike Muscala, who's kind of looked like a frame of his old self from when he was last on the Thunder. He built up so much value. I think he got traded for like a first-round pick, or we got a good return for him back then. But he's not looked like the player he was last season when he was on OKC.
How come you didn't talk about the TikTok Jalen Williams, the guy with 7 points against the Lakers, the big time player, the big game player, 7 points against the Lakers.
The thing in the segment was role players rising, and he's not a role player.
He's a role player. He's a role player. Show that against the Lakers. He's a role player. 7 points in a big time primetime game. You're a role player to me. That's what he is.
Players can have bad games.
Not if you're talking about them the way that you were. He's a role player, and he
averages 19 points per game. He's top 5 in the NBA in 3-point percentage.
What's the stats against the top teams in the NBA? You want me to read them out to you?
Go on, because. If you're gonna count the
10
Lakers,
points that he had against the Mavs, the 9 points against the Mavs, the 11 points he had against the Timberwolves, I can keep going down the list.
Teams. Okay, just quickly, you said top teams. Top teams in the
teams that are
these guys aren't even out of the play-in picture.
Okay, so you want me to bring up the stats against the Nuggets? Oh, don't bring up those stats.
Okay, find those stats, and then we'll see if they're different, because you're just talking about the 8th, 9th, and 10th seed, and that's ridiculous. You can't call them the top seeds in the NBA.
Let me see the stats against the Suns as well. Suns against the Celtics. The Clippers.
Oh, the Suns. Oh my god. Tell me someone who's actually
on off. He has 20, he has 11, he has 20, he has 10, he has 20, he has no, bro. It's up and down. Peaks, troughs, peaks, troughs, peaks, troughs. That's who Jalen Williams is, bro. Role player.
You're ridiculous.
He's a role player.
You say he's not playing well against the top teams, and you pull stats out against the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers.
He had 20 points against the Nuggets, and the next time they played, he had like 11. That's inconsistent.
20. Wow, horrible game. 20 points.
You didn't listen to the next one, did you? 20 and then 11. That's not consistent, bro. Come on.
Okay, here we go. Well, let's go through a few of these. I'll find some. 18 against the Clippers, not great, not bad. 33 against Orlando. 32 against the Kings. 26 against Utah. 20 against Minnesota.
Utah. Don't bring up Utah. Come on, don't do that.
I'm just going through the list. 20 against Minnesota. 25 against the Clippers. 25 against the Lakers.
Jed, listen. Jed, I'll do it for you. Against the Denver Nuggets this season, 13 points, 24 points, 11 points.
Also, early season games and
don't make the excuse. No, we're not doing that. Don't make excuses about early season. I don't care about early season. You said that he's a guy who's a number 2. Don't care if it's early season, mid-season, regular season, pro season. Bro.
Ridiculous.
Is he a star or is he not?
He is a star. In that first game, he scored 13 against the Nuggets. It's like the 5th game of the season, and he shot 6 from 9 from the floor. It's not a bad game.
So, bro, what do you mean? He still had a freaking points. 13 points and he had 11 points.
Just ridiculous. The middle game, 24 points. And then he had 11 points. But you go through there. He had 36 against the Knicks the night before, dropping 11.
That's what I said. The peaks and the troughs. That's what he is. He's a role player. Peaks and troughs. Peaks and troughs.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous that you come out with this like statement. Oh, he plays poor against good teams, and you throw the Lakers and the Mavericks in there. Like, okay,
are those teams that they might play in the first round? Those are teams that they might play in the first round, and he plays bad against them before in the regular season. He'll do it again, bro.
Okay, excluding the last game where he got injured, so you're talking about how he's really inconsistent. So there's a few bad games in here, but they're mostly pretty good. He goes 15, 31, 7, 22, 26, 24, 22, 11, 18, 33, 32, 9, 26, 20, 20. That is
troughs. Peaks and troughs.
There is 3 games less than 20 points. There is more games than more than 30 points than 20 points. And it's just a ridiculously bold claim that you're saying he's a role player.
Peaks and troughs. He's a role player.
Whatever.
You'll see it.
Take that statement to bed.
Time will come, bro. You'll wait. Time will come. And when the time comes, like you remember the $100 bet,
say
bro.
Say it right now so everyone can hear it. You reckon D'Angelo Russell's better than him?
110%.
Wow. That's just ridiculous.
Tell me when Jalen Williams drops 44 points, and then we can talk.
One game. You're talking about peaks and troughs. D'Angelo Russell is the definition of a fucking trough. That's just, it's just such an audacious, ridiculous, outlandish statement. And
and then to top it off, to end the entire discussion, how many All-Star appearances? Don't speak to me.
Oh my
exactly.
God.
Exactly.
Look, I'm gonna step in here as a man who's been listening to this conversation for 5 minutes. You guys are idiots. Talk about something different. This is the worst conversation I've ever heard. Jalen Williams is better than a role player. Stop trying to downgrade him.
He's a role player. What do you mean he's not a role player?
Okay.
Bro, like I said,
a good player. He's gonna get better.
The time is coming, bro.
Stop trying to overplay him. Get on, move on. Let's go.
The time is coming, Jed. As I said, 6 weeks. Your time is coming. The time is up.
Crazy.
John Cena, your time is up, bro.
D'Angelo Russell at the start of the season scored 11 points against the Denver Nuggets, by the way. Scored 4 points against Houston.
How many points did he have against the Bucks the other day?
8 points against the Suns.
How many points did he have against the Bucks the other day? How many points did he have against the Bucks the other day? How many points did he have against the Bucks the other day? How many points did he have against the Bucks? That's all that matters. He had 44. He had 44. He had 44. He had 44. That's all that matters. Exactly. Jalen Williams. Call me when Jalen Williams scores 44 points.
If you're going to talk about...
You know my number, bro. Call me when Jalen Williams scores 44 points.
Call me when you know how to have an argument without just, barring up at someone and just repeating the same thing that everyone knows is true.
You didn't answer the question. I asked you to answer the question.
Zoom out, bro. Zoom out.
Answer the question for me.
Zoom out. You've put Ethan to sleep. Ethan, wake up. Please stop talking.
Well, what other role players? What other role players do you have rising potentially for these other teams?
Role players
Nah.
don't matter anymore.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I've had enough of this conversation. Next topic.
Hates the role players. Yeah, we hate talking about fucking Jalen Williams. Don't ever speak to me about that bum again. Takes us through to trivia. We are back in trivia. I'm on duties this week. So we look at how the scoreboard's standing. We didn't have the other episode go live, but this is how the standings sit right now. So in first place tied, we've got myself, Panache Nyashanu, we've got Trey Mitchell, and we've got Jed Mitchell all on 3 points. And in last place, we've got Ethan McDonald with a whopping donut burgering of 0 points.
To be fair,
I
I
thought
think
I was front.
most listeners would understand that I should be on 1 after Jed's cheated the last time.
Okay.
Oh no.
Also, I may have Google search stuff and come last anyway. So
Yeah.
and it was clearly a piss take because none of us could get the answer right.
Yeah. But anyway, fellas, this week we've got a bit of a banger. In the spirit of what has been the topic, everyone's trying to pick their MVPs. I thought, let's go back in history. Let's see who our MVPs of history are. We have had, I think it's been given out 67 times, MVP has, right? We've had 35 winners. 15 of those winners have counted 47 of the MVP awards. But I want you guys to name me all of these MVPs that we've had over the 67 years. So it's going to go 1 for 1 for 1. So if you get it wrong, next person. So throughout, there's going to be some bonus points that you can get. If you're not a coin, let's spin the wheel since it's 3 here. First is Ethan McDonald. Ethan, Jed, then Trey is the order. Okay, so Ethan, you get first dibs. Who is your first pick? MVP. Who's won MVP in NBA history?
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant, one-time winner. There you go. Kevin Durant is off the board. Ethan McDonald, 1 point.
I'm going to go Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid. There you go. Jed Mitchell. Trey?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. RIP. Trey's on the board. There we go. Back again to Ethan.
Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki. There you go. Ethan. Another point. Jed Mitchell.
James Harden.
James Harden. Yes, sir. Trey?
Kevin Garnett.
Indeed. That is another point. Good, boys. That's good. 6 for 6. No one's got one wrong. Let's go, Ethan.
Russell Westbrook.
Indeed. That's a point. Jed?
I'm going to go with Karl Malone.
Bang, bang. Carl, underage Malone. Yes, sir. Trey Mitchell.
Derrick Rose.
Probably the only MVP who will never make the Hall of Fame. Derrick Rose. Back again to Ethan.
Nikola Jokic.
Jokic. About to win his 3rd MVP. Correct. 4 points. Jed Mitchell.
O'Neal. Shaq.
Correct. 4 points. Trey Mitchell.
Tim Duncan.
Correct. Back into Ethan.
Moses Malone.
Wowzers. There you go. 5. Jed Mitchell.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Yes, indeed. Back again to Trey.
Giannis.
There you go. Trey's on 5 as well now. It's a tie for 5. Who's next?
Charles Barkley.
Indeed, he is. Jed.
Curry.
Yes. Trey.
Steve Nash.
Indeed. Now it's getting a little bit harder because now we're getting out of the 2000s. Back to you, Ethan.
David Robinson.
Correct. 7. Jed.
I'm going to go with Magic Johnson.
There we go. We're getting into the 90s, boys. That's what I like to see.
So it's only a bonus point if they get one MVP, is that right?
No, I changed the rules. It's only going to be the ones that I started on this list. So there's 7 guys that I started on this list that you get bonus points for. So anyway, Trey, it's your turn.
LeBron James.
Surprised he wasn't said earlier.
I was going to say.
We were chasing those one bonus points, but we said a lot of
Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, there's the first wrong answer. It's been said.
Oh, wait. Oh, is
Yeah,
it wrong?
if you say someone has been said, man, we can skip you on to the next one. Jed Mitchell, who you got?
my bad.
I'm gonna go with Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Jeff has 1-1. There you go.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird has 1-1 as well. There you go. Back to Ethan.
Julius Irving.
Dr. J. Ethan's back in a tie with the top crew. Jed Mitchell.
Kareem.
Kareem has won 5 as Kareem. Now, this is a question
Dominic
for
Wilkins.
everyone. Who the first to answer? What was his name when he won his first MVP?
Lou
Lou
Alcindor.
Alcindor.
Lou Alcindor.
Oh, I gotta give that to Jed. I heard his voice first. His voice come through first for me, Trey. I'm sorry, man. So that's just one bonus point. Trey, it's your turn now.
Dominic Wilkins.
Has not won an MVP. Ethan, your turn.
Bob McAdoo.
Bob, the fact that he said that tells me that this guy's cheating. How the fuck did he get Bob McAdoo?
You want
How
to know
the
who played
fuck-
with over the Buffalo
How the
Bills?
fuck did this guy
Don't come
get?
at me. I know that. I know him.
That is a
Don't-
bonus point right there as well.
don't tease
Congratulations,
right there.
Ethan.
Don't come at me.
Nice. I like that. Okay, I like that, Ethan. Jed, back to you.
Oscar Robinson.
Oscar.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That
There
was
you
on the tip
go.
of my bloody tongue.
All right. So quick score update for you fellas. So we got Ethan at 10 points, Jed at 11, Trey at 8, and Trey Mitchell is up now. Trey, who you got?
George Macon.
Not an MVP. Back to Ethan.
You said one more from the 2000s, so I'm going to go with Allen Iverson.
Bingo. Tied at the top again.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell was an MVP. Jed Mitchell back again in the lead. Trey Mitchell, you're falling behind. You need this one, man.
Walt Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain, indeed, father of Luca. You are on the board. 9. Ethan, back to you.
John Havlicek.
No. Jed Mitchell.
Bill Walton.
Starred as well. 2 points. Jed Mitchell up to 14. Trey
Oh.
Mitchell, back to you.
Elgin Baylor.
No, not an MVP. Ethan McDonald.
Are we allowed to get closed by any chance?
Let me know if you want a clue. If you guys
Nah,
want
nah,
clues,
nah.
but I'm gonna give people
I've got another
opportunities. This is probably
nah.
the second to last round without clues, and then we'll start bringing in clues. Got to pressure for time here.
Okay, Bob Cousy.
Bob Cousy is starred as well. 2 points.
George Gervin.
Not an MVP. Trey Mitchell.
Jerry West.
Not an MVP.
Who else
The
gonna
bloody logo.
say? Kevin McHale.
Not an MVP. Jed Mitchell.
Patrick Ewing. I don't think he was.
Not an MVP. Trey.
Sam Jones.
Not an MVP. Clues are coming in now. Okay. Washington Wizards legend.
Where's Unseld?
Wowzers! Start as well. 2 points. Ethan McDonald is up to 15 and taking the lead.
He won it his rookie year too, eh?
Oh, could have been. I didn't note it down. But here we go. Now it gets pretty fancy. So we got 1, 2, 3 left. So this is open floor here. Trey, you need the points. Ethan's on 15. Jed's on 14. Trey, you're only on 9. You need points here, man. So here's the clue. Atlanta Hawks legend.
Alex English.
No.
No,
Dominic Wilkins.
I've already said that.
Nah, guess for guess. So if you take your guess, you're
Lou
done.
Hudson.
No, not Lou Hudson.
Bob Pettit.
Ethan. No.
Bob-
Trey, you can't answer. You already had your guess. Ethan.
What was the team again, sorry?
Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, bruv. Come on now. I don't know.
3, 2,
No, Oscar.
1. Okay. Jed, back to you.
I've got nothing. I've got nothing on the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks is like any quiz is my weakness, so I'm skipping.
Okay, Jed, Trey.
Bob Pettit.
Bob Pettit, indeed, he is starred. Trey Mitchell up to 11. You need that, and you got it. Now there's 2 left. Trey Mitchell, you need both to win this. So, 2 guys left. These are probably by far the hardest guys. I knew we weren't going to get here. So, probably going to need some clues for you because I don't think anyone is going to get them. But anyway, first guy.
Before we go, Red Rocker.
You're close. You're actually very close. You're very close. Very close. He is New York Knicks legend.
What Frazier?
Was that?
What Frazier?
No. Trey Mitchell.
Bernard King.
No.
Fuck.
Ethan McDonald.
Who used to be the what's his name?
Number 19, and he was a center.
I know,
Played from
I know,
1964 to 1974.
I know it now. I know.
Oh, not a chance.
Open floor. Who gets it now?
Willie Reid.
Trey Mitchell. 2 points again. Here we go. In the words of Fabrizio Romano, here we go. 1 point. So there's one answer left now. Only one person left on the board. Trey Mitchell, you need this to tie. Jed, you need this to win. Ethan, if he gets this, he wins as well. So all the marbles on the line, fellas. So one last pick. He starred. Have no idea how the fuck he won MVP, but played for the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. Boston was the team he was known for playing for the most, 1970 to 1980. And he also coached the Boston Celtics from 1978 to 1979.
What, we just say it? David Collins.
Is it Cousy?
No. Pause this whole
What did
thing.
he say?
Pause this whole thing.
Right.
Pause
Tell me I got that right now. Tell me I
Pause
got
this
that
whole thing right now. What did you say?
I said David Collins.
No way.
Nah, that's a fuck no.
You're right.
Ow! He's done it. He's only gone and done it. He's only gone and done it. He's got it. Dave Collins, that's the answer. It's a bonus point answer. It's means he won. 17 points. He has gone and done it. The streak is over.
Ethan.
The streak is over.
You're the real.
You gave us all the clues in the book, mate.
All the clues in the book. Yeah, we all knew that one.
I don't think I would have seen this coming, bro. I don't think I saw this coming. He's got Dave Collins. So you're telling me, bro, you guessed who guessed? Well, it wasn't you actually. You did guess Watkins, but you got Dave Collins off those clues. Wow.
I like to tell you, Pete. I am sneakily intelligent, also sneakily dumb at the same time.
This is
You're not sneakily dumb. You're out there dumb.
I don't know how you've got Dave Collins off those clues. I thought I was gonna have to bring an NBA champion. I thought I was gonna have to bring teammate of this guy. That's very impressive.
I can tell you, I don't know who David Cohen is at all. Never heard the name before in my life.
Neither did I until I was searching up this and I went, wow. So, fellas, final standings. Here we go. First play. No, actually, we'll start from the guy who I thought was actually going to win this. Trey Mitchell. Last. 14 points.
It's because I started last, bro. There was a huge disadvantage.
You done is 14, but I believe you got a bonus point in there as well. So you're actually tied going to the last round with Ethan at 15. So you needed that question as well. Jed Mitchell second with 15 and first place. First point on the overall leaderboard. Ethan McDonald, 17 points. Congratulations, including 2 star answers in there. Bob McAdoo and what's his name? Dave Collins. Congratulations, Ethan. Brilliant.
And
2 star points.
Hey, by the way, proud of us. We rattled that off rapidly.
That was brilliant, fellas. That was. I'm very impressed. I'm more impressed at Dave Collins because I really thought we were gonna have to go dig into the things to get some clues.
Did you have a whole bunch of like questions like backed up on them or something?
I was gonna have a lot of clues. I had just clues lined up because I went, these guys are gonna take forever trying to get Dave Collins. But you guys done well, and you guys flew through that as well. So all 35 off the board, and just like that, it's all done and dusted, all wrapped up. Episode 15 is done, man. Congratulations, Ethan.
Hey, thanks, much appreciated.
Wow, I'm more than impressed because it just took Dave Collins. Like who?
How did Elgin Baylor not win an MVP?
I think it's all just down to Sporkle quizzes, man.
Wait, when Elgin Baylor led the league in points or averaged 38 or 39 points per game, Oscar Robertson averaged a triple double. And no, it might have been actually. I take that back. Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50. Elgin Baylor
Yeah.
averages like 39. Oscar Robertson averaged triple double, and Bill Russell won MVP with like some mediocre ass stats compared to those.
And
I mean,
how did
stats
Jerry
of
West
19
not
and
win an
17.
MVP?
Yeah, was that
How did Jerry West not win an MVP? He's the logo.
Hey,
wild?
man, don't hate the play, hate the game, man.
Me and Ethan
But-
need to go. We've got
Yeah.
a basketball game.
But unreal, fellas. Great episode. Thank you again to everyone who's been supporting the podcast. We appreciate the support. We're going to bring more episodes out to you, pushing the content. Show love. Thank you for the love. Thank you. We appreciate it so much. Catch you on the next one, episode 16, Dunk Dynasty Podcast. Over and out. See you later.
Peace out.
Catch you guys. Catch you later.
Yeah.
Good rocker
Shut up,
out.
Rocker. Jed Rocker for life.
Jed Rocker.